This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com. Welcome, and this is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is July 28th, 2020. This is show number 85. Well, Nick, we had a bit of a broad-based rally yesterday in the market. What's going to happen the rest of the week?
Well, as we've been saying here, it seems like every time we get a Monday rally, the rest of the week seems to do some backing and filling. So I think we're seeing that today. Today we have all the major indexes lower. But one thing that's kind of encouraging is that we're really not down that much. The S&P is down about 0.2%. The Russell 2000 is down about 0.25%. You do have the NASDAQ down 0.5% and the Dow down 0.5%. But really, that's not terrible. We're in the heart of earnings season right now. You have lots of earnings coming out. And that's really, what's driving the market on a day-to-day basis, at least for now. And, we'll see what we get going forward. But like I always been, we've been talking about here for the last several weeks, when we get that Monday rally, it seems like the rest of the week we do a lot of backing and filling, just a lot of choppiness.
Yeah, interesting how that works. The dollar's gone down a lot during the past couple of weeks here, huh?
The dollar has been getting crushed recently, but I think we're getting close to a dollar bottom. I still don't think it's there yet. I think we got a little bit more to go, but I do think the dollar is starting to get very attractive. The dollar decline has also helped all of the commodity stocks go higher as well, including gold and silver.
Yeah, so you think we're getting to a bottom and we're going to see higher I just wonder what the cause of it is, whether the social unrest, whether it's just cycles or what, because the dollar had been strong up until recently.
Yeah, until around, the dollar, I'd say 3 months ago, started to stall out. And that was due. That was overdue. We had that big spike in March, the index got to 103. Now the dollar index is sitting at around 93. So, I think we'll go down to 92. We'll test that level there. And I think that's going to be about the low for the dollar. So I know everybody is getting really, really bearish the dollar, saying, well, the Fed's printing all this money and they're devaluing it. But remember, the Fed is printing a lot of money, but so are all the other central banks around the world. So it's not just a one-trick pony here. The dollar ultimately still has several more years to go before it's going to make its final descent.
Yeah. So it's got a ways to go, and I guess that kind of affects certainly the commodities and gold and silver. Silver's taken a breather. Gold is up marginally today.
Yeah, gold was down earlier. Now it's positive, and we're looking at gold futures actually trading up $11 to $1,942 an ounce, new all-time high.
Wow, so gold is up, and we have a new all-time high on the futures, huh?
Yes, new all-time high was made today, and we're there now. So we'll see exactly where this thing wants to trade out. It's parabolic. That's the one thing I will tell everybody. But gold is talking to you. You'll get some corrections. You'll get some pullbacks. And that's when you can reestablish positions. I wouldn't be a buyer of gold up here at this level, but I've been wrong for the last 50 points or more. So I mean, at this stage of the game, I've already thought it was overbought. It's getting severely overbought now.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to find out more about it. So what's doing with our sectors, with restaurants, McDonald's, and the rest of them?
Yeah, well, McDonald's reported earnings today, and that stock is getting hit a little bit. So if you take a look at McDonald's, which is ticker symbol MCD, today we're trading down about almost $5 in the stock. So that's getting hit. It's had a good run, but it's only a little 2.5% decline. It's nothing major. I would keep McDonald's on the radar, see what it does over the next 3 to 5 days. And believe it or not, as long as it holds trend, it can go higher. So McDonald's is not a bad-looking stock. A couple of other names that reported earnings today were 3M. Now, that is getting hit pretty hard. So if you take a look at 3M today, that's down about 5%. That's an $8.40 decline. So 3M is having an ugly move. But the stock does have a lot of support around 150. It's right now trading at around 154.80. So again, let that fall in the coming days. 150, you never know, that might be a play. And then you had a big semiconductor, which a lot of people don't talk about, which is NXPI. And that semiconductor stock is also getting hit this morning, trading down around $3 or so, just a 2.5% decline. But this is all weighing on the markets. And then, you have a stock like Martin Marrietta, a big material play. That's getting hit as well today. That's trading down about 5%, $11.60 decline. So, that's all weighing on the markets at the moment. But there's really nothing terrible here. Most of these equities have had big runs. To see them pull back, they were all pretty much priced for perfection. This is par for the course.
All right. Well, I guess we'll keep an eye on them. The airline's still struggling, huh?
Yeah, the airline stocks today are not bad. You actually have all of them up across the board, but I still think they need to pull back a little bit more. I don't think they're really perfectly set up yet for a big launch. Now, I know we're getting a lot of negative news about the coronavirus. I've never seen this much negative news since March. But, when stocks can hang in there during bad news, when the news does dissipate a little bit, these stocks can take off and make a move. So I've got some levels worked out for a couple of airlines. They're not quite at my levels yet, so we just sit tight and we let them play themselves out a little bit. Yeah.
So any other sectors? What's home builders? Are they reporting earnings shortly?
Yeah, we had one home builder today. I believe it was D.R. Horton report earnings. That stock's up 3 cents. The rest of the home builders today are slightly lower. They're not down much. They're just down fractionally. But D.R. Horton did report earnings. You're going to have more home builders report, but they've been very strong, Kerry. They're overbought on every metric as well. So they're going to need to pull back a little bit here, and that would be a good thing. As long as they pull back and they don't break certain levels or they don't break major support, they become buying opportunities.
All right. So I want to go back to silver. You mentioned a couple of resistance points on the upside we're probably going to see in the coming weeks and months ahead. Can you just go over them again, please? Because I got a couple of questions.
Sure. So the big resistance point for silver right now is 26.25. And if you take a look at the action today, silver got to 26.27. Now it's trading at around 24.50. So it's backed off of that resistance level. That resistance level right there is a 382 retrace level, and that goes back from the 2011 top to the low that was made in March. And that hit a perfect bullseye. So you can see how specific and important these retrace levels are. Now, after this, the next big retrace level will be around $30 to $30.70, and that's going to be a 50% retrace from the 2011 top all the way to the 2020 bottom. So that would be another key level. But before you can get to that number, you got to close above the 382 retrace level, which I think is going to be a little bit tough to do at the moment because silver is very, very extended.
Yeah, it went up so fast, so much. I mean, it more than doubled, right, Nick, from its March low. Even though you couldn't buy it at that price, it was down to 1180. And now, 24 and change.
Yeah, and actually went up as high as, 26. So, you got to remember, when you go up in that straight line, which we call a parabolic move, you're gonna get a pullback. It's not a matter if it's going to happen. It will happen. It's just a matter of when it happens. So, just understand that's fine. Silver is making this big surge from a low, which is really an underlying sign of strength. And it tells me silver has a lot more to go. It just needs to pull back in the near term.
Yeah. So not a flash in the pan. We're not going to see a major reversal and it go back down to its March lows, huh?
I don't think we're going to see the March lows again for many years. That was what we call a generational opportunity.
Generational. Yeah, it's a shame. Hey, well, I got my 2 ounces of silver from eBay for a total of $25. So I'm sitting pretty here. And we are going to be having a contest And it's going to be, guess the price of gold on August 13th, 2020, which will be exactly 49 years to the day that Nixon closed the gold window, which led to a whole series of unintended consequences that we're still living through today.
Yeah, it's funny how history has a way of affecting the future.
Yeah. Yep. And unfortunately, they don't teach history anymore in schools, but maybe that will change soon. At least you can find some version of history on the internet, or many versions, and you can pick the one that you prefer. Anyways, that's it for today. Make sure you go take a look at Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com, trading record, a lot of valuable info there. Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago 01, at Kerry Lutz. Questions, comments, and your experiences. We'd like to know how you've been doing during this rally since March, since we started this show. And just email us kl@kerrylutz.com. And Nick, we will pick up tomorrow.
Sounds good, Kerry. Thank you.
This concludes another episode of Daily Market Wisdom with Master Trader Nick Santiago. For more information, go to inthemoneystocks.com and see Nick's full trading record, or check out the Twitter feeds at ITMS and at Nick Santiago 01.